Yeah, I could just post it in RSC.
We're live? Cool. Cool, so hey everyone, I'm Faraz, and hey. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming to Svalbard to take part in this crazy conference. So I thought for my talk, I would talk about some stuff I've just been playing around with. Take a break from the usual, like, peer-to-peer mad science stuff. Well, I guess this is probably considered mad science, but anyway, take a break from the usual stuff and just have a little bit of fun. So I can't remember how this all started, but we were talking. Some friends and I were talking about old like memes that we remembered from like the early days of the internet, back when it was more of a Wild West, and like, you know, web security wasn't really a thing yet. And I remembered this really old troll site that I visited, where there was like a flash animation that would blink and it would say, it would sing "You are an idiot" over and over again, and it would move the window around your screen, because apparently you can do that in the browser. And I remember it was great because I don't know, it was just like this really weird thing, and you just go to it, you know, visit the site really quickly on your friend's computer, and it was good, you know, good fun for everybody. But yeah, that site disappeared, and I couldn't find it when I searched for it. So it got me wondering, like, if it would be possible to reproduce it in the modern web with, you know, after like, you know, 15 years more of web security and like iteration on trying to make the browser more secure that's been happening. And yeah, it turns out you can still do it. So that's what I want to talk about. So yeah, this is all possible because of this browser API that's ancient. It's called, oh, I shouldn't click on W3 schools. Let me, don't want to give them any traffic. I already did. Okay, so this API right here, window.moveBy, which lets you, basically if you have a reference to a window object, you can move it by however many pixels you want, anywhere on the screen. And there's also another one that's closely related to this called move2, which lets you, in absolute terms, position a window anywhere on the screen. So that's very similar as well. There's also two more, resize by and resize 2. So with these 4 APIs, we can have a lot of fun. So, so the first thing you might try after reading the docs is to just try calling, you know, window.move2 on you know, like a blank page, and just like see if it works. So let's try to like move it to, I don't know, 100, 100, which is, yeah, which should be like a little bit down and to the right. It doesn't do anything. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh, all hope is lost. But then I realized that it might be because this view here is composed of like a bunch of tabs for a bunch of sites. So it turns out you can actually make this work if you first open a pop-up window from the website. So basically, the pop-up window is kind of considered like a sub-window of the main page. And so the browsers have like decided that that makes more sense for a site to be able to position a pop-up wherever it wants on the screen. And you know, that way you're not moving around like all the other sites. So how do you open pop-up windows? So you can call this little API here, window.open. And it takes like a bunch of arguments. It's kind of a weird API. The first one is like the HTML that you want to have in the window. The second thing is, actually I forget what that one is, doesn't matter. And then the third one is a list of like attributes in a string, which is like the width, height, and position of the window when it's initially opened.
It's a string?
It's a string, yeah. This is like old days of like, it's like, you know, I don't know, probably this is probably Brendan Eich's fault, I don't know. But it's like really old.
This is before JSON.
Yeah, before JSON, like before people realized that you could use objects for this. I don't know, I have no idea. Anyway, so you call this, and oops, the pop-up blocker caught it. I don't know if you guys saw that up there. So this was blocked for being like probably a thing the user doesn't want to see. Well, it turns out there's a way around this. So the browser assumes that if this function is called inside of a user event handler, so something like a click handler, that the user probably wanted the window to open. This is why sometimes if you visit some sketchier sites on the internet, you'll notice that you'll get pop-ups still, even today with our pop-up blocking technology, because you'll click on a link and a pop-up. So let's try that. So we'll do document.addEventListener. Click.
Do you want to share?
I'm all right. OK, and so on click, we'll just try this. And I'll put it in a variable just for convenience. And let's try that. OK, so if I click here in this page now, woohoo, got a pop-up window. Woo. Nice. OK, so now let's try. I'm going to move this over to the side. And I'll put the window here. And let's try moving it around. So it's called win. Move by 100, 100. Woo, it worked.
Yeah.
Nice. Check that out. Cool, so we can have some fun. We can maybe, let's do, let's say, have a variable maybe, do a for loop. Actually, let's just do set interval.
Using all the data tricks.
And
Your face right now is like too much joy.
of course. So we'll do move to window dot move to. Oh, is that not visible? Sorry. Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Is it visible?
It's good.
Okay, cool. So we'll just do this maybe, and then we can maybe set I to something like this. Does that seem reasonable? Nice. Look at that. So imagine if you
Web 2016.
yeah, imagine if you visited a website and clicked a link and then this started happening. You'd probably be really worried about the security of your computer. So what was that? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so this is good fun. Now, how do I actually close this? This is kind of hard. I can't really aim. Anyway, probably should just Command W. Will that work? Crap. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the interesting thing. So because the set interval is in the main window here, if I hit X on here, it will. Oh man, this loop is running too fast because I didn't put a time in the set interval, so it actually froze my browser. Wow. Wow. Anyway.
Or you can just do a clear interval one.
Oh, if the thing would actually let me type. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. But if I were to close the main window, what's interesting is that window would stop moving because the command code is running in the main window. So if we wanted to make this more annoying, we could decentralize it in some sense and put the command code into each of the windows so that you have to close them all. If you close the main window, the rest of the windows will keep moving on their own. So yeah, that's kind of fun to do. So yeah, what I want to do now is, let's see. Oh yeah. So one thing we can do. I'm just going to switch to. So this is basically the code we just wrote, but in a file. So this is a little bit easier to work with in the console. So let's improve it and make it handle multiple windows really quick. So we'll just change this to an array. When we open the window, we'll just push it into the array, and then on the interval, let's all the windows and move them. But we probably don't want to move them all on top of each other. So let's say, based on the number of the window that we're looking at, we'll just offset it a little bit from the rest. So maybe j times 100. We'll add that to the x, and then also add that to the y. If that makes sense. I think that should work. Does that look reasonable? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try it. So I'm going to use this cool little command called scat, which lets you take. Seriously, it's actually really useful. You can pipe any JavaScript to it, and it'll open it up in a page for you. So you don't need to run a server and all that stuff. So if I click.
What?
Was something confusing about that?
No, it's just, why did they call it scat?
Script cat.
Okay.
Yeah. Script. Yeah. Anyway, so that's one window right there. Now, if I click another window, do another click, it should. Oh, what happened? Didn't work. Oh yeah, right. Because I was removing the listener after the first click. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's do that again. So close this. Do scat again. Okay, there we go. So there's one. Click again. Cool, we got two. Click again. Whoa, nice. All right, so we're getting some nice little window dancing going on. Cool. Cool. So what should we do next?
Cats.
Cats? Put cats in the windows? What about putting ads?
Hamsters. Hey, does would blur work? Could you blur it?
Blur.
Window blur?
Oh, to hide it in the background?
Yeah, would that work?
Yeah, that probably would work. We can try it. So after we create the window, we should maybe do win.blur. Let's see.
Can you create the window in like app mode where there's no bar at the top?
That used to be supported, but now, yeah, they actually. Oh yeah. So the question was, can you create the window so that there's no like URL bar or maybe even no title bar?
Yeah.
You used to be able to, in that list right here of all these attributes, you used to be able to say things like toolbar none, like hide the X button from the user, and it would just do it. Fortunately, that's not allowed anymore. But look, notice though, the URL bar is barely visible at this size, so I mean, it's not really doing much for the user.
Can you move it up? Like, could you move it up above the?
Oh yeah, so that's a good question. Can you move the window like above or like outside of the viewport of the screen? So could you like maybe have half of the window off the left, or maybe the top of it off the top of the screen? You can't. So at least in Chrome, it will not allow you to position it so that any of the window is hiding at all. Which probably makes sense. I mean, if you could hide the URL bar off the top of the screen, then you could basically make whatever UI you wanted. Like you could, you know what I mean? You could make a fake URL bar with like a fake address and a fake green lock and all that stuff. So it's not a good idea.
Could you capture mouse movements and make them run away from your mouse?
You could, yes, you could do all sorts of things with mouse move. Actually, let's do that now. So, okay, so let's try this. So it turns out there's actually a nice, easy way to put some HTML into the window and then try to listen to the mouse move event. So let's do that. So I think you just do window dot, shoot, what was it? I think it was document.write. Yeah, it's good old APIs. Okay, so we're going to write some HTML in. And I'm going to use a multi-line string because it's actually really useful here. So we'll do HTML. And actually, I need to do these tags just because I want to add a listener to the body tag. And if you don't have a body tag, you can't add a listener to the body tag. So, which makes sense. So we'll do a script inside here. And let's do document.add event listener mouse. I think it's move. And whenever we get a mouse move, let's change the body's color maybe so we can see that it worked. So I think that's background color. Actually, that won't work. So let's do red equals false. If red is true, then make it red. Otherwise, make it green. And every time we get a mouse move, we'll flip it. Cool. Let's try that. So that's called live2 again. OK. Oh, it's moving. Anyway, so we can see here that every time I mouse over, the color changes. And if I keep my mouse over it, it flips back and forth really fast because mouse move gets fired really, really fast. Cool. So that's kind of interesting. Now, if we wanted to troll the user a lot, we could make the window follow their mouse around so that their mouse can never escape from the window. Because every time we get a mouse move, we know that their mouse has moved slightly off center, and we could just fix that for them by moving the window and recentering it around their mouse. That's pretty easy to do. So all we need to do is look at the screen X and screen Y parameters on the event, on the mouse move event, and we'll just helpfully call window.moveTo for them. So with just that one line, we should be in good shape. Oh, OK, so what's happening is it's the top left of the window, right? So we can fix that. Let's just make the window a little bigger, maybe.
It's also fighting with the interval.
Screen X plus.
Yeah, let's get rid of the interval, too. Good point. Yeah, let's get rid of it.
Screen X plus like 10 or something.
Oh, well, the window's 200 now, so I'll just do plus 100.
Beautiful.
OK, let's try that. Oh, whoa, come back here. That's not what I wanted. Oh, sorry, it should be minus 100. Yeah, minus. Good call. These, by the way, I was working on this on the plane, and I don't know what everybody around me was thinking, but they probably thought I had like the worst malware infection ever. I like had windows flying all around, and like sometimes they were just like flashing like all sorts of colors, and I don't know if they thought like I had a virus or I was making a virus or what, but they were probably really confused. Anyway, let's try it. Okay. Yeah, nice. Nice. So this is a pretty hard window to get rid of, but of course, if you move too fast, you can escape it. So what are we going to do about this? It's not cool. We need to find a solution. So
Resize the window.
Resize the window, right? So well, first let's actually bring back that color code that we had earlier, just to try and like figure out a little bit more about how the mouse move event actually works with this. So if oh, it's moving again. Let me get rid of that. One sec. Here we go. The mouse goes over the window. We get an event, right? But what happens if my mouse was already was in one position, and then we used like a set interval to move the window over the user's mouse? Would that cause an event? Because if it would, then that would allow us to locate the mouse. Does that make sense? So if I, like in that previous example where the window was following my mouse, if my mouse escapes and we're trying to find it, if we could use like a search algorithm to basically make the window go to this half of the screen and then go to this half of the screen, and whichever and then like during one of those moves, if our mouse was on that, was over that window, then we'd get a mouse move event, and we'd be able to realize exactly where the mouse is and hopefully resize the window right around that mouse again. So the code for that was a little bit complicated, so I already wrote it. I'll just show you guys that. We don't have to do that one live. So that is right. I think it's no, not this one. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's try that. Okay, so this is the final result of doing that algorithm that I just described to find the user's mouse. Okay, so it found my mouse, and it's doing a pretty good job of following it. And even when my mouse escapes, it finds it again. So yeah, let me slow it down a little bit so you can see what's actually going on here, because it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to make the tick length once. Oh, you're right. This is a different one. Good call. I have a lot of these.
There. Almost.
This one here. Cool. Thanks. Okay, so let's make the tick length one second. So basically what's happening is on this tick length, I'm checking to see have I got a mouse move event. And if I haven't got a mouse move event for that many milliseconds, then I assume the user's mouse has escaped the window. And we need to help them out with that. Okay, so here it is running at 1 second tick speed. Okay, so here it is. It found my mouse. Now what it's doing here is interesting. So it thinks it lost my mouse because it hasn't moved and no events are generated when my mouse is not moving. So in order to just confirm that the mouse is really there and not moving, it just moves off to the side and then moves back. And then it's like, okay, got an event. Okay, the mouse is still there. Cool. And so you could probably improve this by maybe changing the background color in a way where, when it moves really fast, you can kind of see it flashing. But I think that you could do some kind of trick with the color and make, when it moves to the left, make this black or something, so it's less visually clear that it's flashing. But whatever, that's not important. So here it is. So
would it work if you resize instead of taking the window?
Huh?
If you just increase the size of the window instead of taking it off the mouse.
Oh no, it has to leave the mouse and then it has to come back in the mouse. Yeah. If you just resize the window, it won't trigger it, as far as I know. But yeah, I also have been testing this in all the browsers. This works in Firefox and Safari too. So maybe there's a solution in one of those other browsers to just resize it, because that would be way better than this moving thing. Anyway, so now let's move the mouse out of the way and see how it finds it. So I'll go over here. And now it's like, oh shoot, I didn't see it. What am I going to do? Let's try the left. Let's try the right. Oh, we found it. Nice. And we can just do that again, and it'll do the same thing. So it could probably be a little bit faster, but anyway, it works. Yeah. So.
Why do you need to try the left and the right?
Yeah. Why not go full screen?
Has to read the mouse.
Oh, that's actually a good point. So if it's already left, then you could just go full screen. Right.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yep. This is what you get when you write stuff on the plane with Matthias sitting next to you. Just kidding.
What's happening at the bottom of the screen?
What do you mean?
Flickering.
Oh, that's
Oh,
it.
yeah, yes. The other one.
Oh, that's probably another window. Yeah, I probably got a few of those running around.
Ferris, you got a virus.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty bad.
Anyway,
Take it to Best Buy.
yeah, ask the Geek Squad. What's going on with my computer? Cool. So that's kind of useful. So then let's see, what else can we do? More viruses, yeah. So I'll just show you guys some other stuff that I've been playing that I like hacked together using some of these ideas, and then I think that'll be my talk. So the other thing I did was this one right here. So I made a little game using like a little bit of physics, simple physics calculations. So here you have a bouncing window with like gravity simulation, and you can move your mouse over and bump the window around. So it'll bounce around nicely. So you can like, oh, another cool thing is if it moves into your mouse, it'll bounce off of it. So I don't even have to like move. It'll just bounce around it.
Catch it.
It's basically Palm.
Yeah.
Could you make Palm? With like 2 players or something? Like...
Oh, I'm making a click noise just to like show the hit. Yeah. Anyway, you can make games with this. So I want to make a Breakout where you just open up a bunch of windows at the top of the screen, and then you use the window following the mouse trick to make a paddle. So the user moves their mouse on the bottom, and the paddle follows it, and then you have a ball window that just hits the bricks at the top.
That is awesome.
No, it's a great use for the API, right?
Yeah.
It's a real use case. If anyone tries to remove this API, I'm gonna like post that game and be like, you broke my game. Don't break the web. Don't remove APIs.
Why do you hate freedom?
Yeah, exactly.
You could put an ad in the window though and make it, what?
I mean, yeah, you could probably build really evil ads with this. I mean, because it's running out of bounce.
Could we combine this and send it over IPv? So every time you print something, it just.
This
Yeah.
is beautiful. I want this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna release this soon, like right after my talk.
Each of the
You
breakout
don't
blocks
see.
is going to be a banner ad that tells you about the weird trick.
Okay, so yeah, one more evil thing I want to do is I want to show you guys a little other things you can do to open windows. So it's not just click. You can actually do other events like how about key down, key up, key press, and I think that's it. Let me check.
Can't do mouse move?
Oh no, that would be super evil. You can't do mouse move. Mouse move is not considered a like user-initiated event. It's not a real user interaction with the page. Similarly, scroll is not, resize is not, but key stuff is, and I think touch events are too.
Yeah.
Can you open multiple pop-ups in one event?
One event. No, you can't. You can only open up one pop-up per event. But pushing one key on your keyboard is a key down, a key up, and a key press. So you can open 3 windows in one event, well, one key press. So let's just see that and see if it works well.
You try to Alt F4 the windows, and each time you do that, it'll spawn 3 new windows and close the one that you were on.
Okay, so if I click here, okay, I got a window. Now let me try like Command W, Command W, Command W, Command W. Oops, that's unfortunate. And this also follows on mouse. Okay, anyway. Now if I go back to this page and I try to like Command Tab to my text editor, oops, it got a pop up while I did that, right? That's kind of nice.
Can't you handle that close window event?
Oh yeah, there's like window on before unload.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys know where this is going. I've already done all these things that you're talking about. And that is right here on localhost 4001, I think.
But what about me?
All right. Do I dare? All right, let's do it. All right, so we got that. Now let me try to Command W. Oh shoot. All right, let's say I want to leave the page. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, that's another command. That was another Command W. All right, how about I try to like grab one of the windows? Doesn't really work. How about any other suggestions besides killing Chrome, because that'll obviously work. If I close the main page, let's see if that works. Didn't really work because the code is in the window itself. Peer-to-peer for the win, decentralization, right?
Send another ticket. Close it again.
If I accidentally try to hit an X and click on the window itself, that'll also spawn another pop-up. And let's see. Yeah, like I said, Command Tab really just creates more windows, like that. Also, every time the code runs to open a new window, I loop over all of the sub-windows that window has created, and I call focus on them to bring them to the front. So even if I like background all these and then I click on one, okay, that's gonna. It's like Chrome is like struggling to move these all around at the same time right now. But anyway.
Your laptop's about to die too.
Yeah, my battery's about to die. Let me kill this before my battery dies. Anyway, you get the idea. Yeah. Okay, one last thing before my battery dies. I want to show you guys a version that is even more, slightly more evil. So this will prompt you for your camera. And if you make the mistake of like not immediately pushing block, and you click this thing, or you like close this out or whatever, and then click, then every one of the windows that flies around will have a camera prompt on it, which is I think kind of funny. Yeah. Oh, and one other idea that I haven't had a chance to implement yet is using this to like trick the user to allowing access to their camera. So if you get them to play a game where they have to like say click a button as many times as possible in 1 second, or maybe 3 seconds, so that you get them to start the game and they start clicking like really fast on this one spot, then you just in one of those clicks pop up a window and perfectly position the allow button under their mouse. Bam, you have their camera. So that would probably work. Just saying. No, not that I have tried. So if I actually allow access to this, then of course what we expect to happen is that all the windows will, I'll be in all the windows. Except I'm frozen apparently. So the move API is like sync, so it's pretty slow to do. So you have to do a pretty low frame rate if you want it to not freeze your browser. Anyway, that's my talk. Any questions?
Could you make the window follow your mouse with the prompt open?
Probably, but I would guess that if your mouse goes over the prompt, you wouldn't get any mouse move events because that's going to be like Chrome native UI.
Could you? So you said that you can open a pop-up only if you click a link, basically. If
you click, or if your key goes down. So that's why, like, if I push Command W, 2 pop-ups come up.
Yeah, but like way back in the day, like the very beginning of the time, you said like you can still get pop-ups these days if you click on a link because they can record that. Can you just automatically have JavaScript just click a link for you and then run it yourself?
You can't. You can't have JavaScript click a link for you, but it won't have that like tag on it that it's a user-initiated event. So those calls will just get blocked as pop-ups.
Cool.
If that happens, you can always go up here and like there's a little button that like lets you see what pop-ups are blocked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not going to actually be a real pop-up. Cool. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.